was like, what's up with this guy over here? Is he a jerk or is he just really, shy? My first interactions with Peter, I remember my first day and I came in, we used to do a huddle, in the pharmacy area.
Yeah.
I'm scanning the room, just looking at faces and, kind of trying to get a feel of people.
Right.
I look over him. He just seems, a little shy, quiet guy. I was like, what's up with this guy over here? Is he a jerk or is he just really, shy? I didn't know what kind of, but, I immediately was in surgery and that wasn't his surgery day. It wasn't until a couple of days I got to work with him. So the first couple of days I just kind of watched, and I was watching his interaction, with the staff and everyone just seemed to like really gravitate towards him.
Right.
And, hearing him, interact with the staff and the way he was teaching and talking to them, it felt comforting,
Right.
and I was like, okay, I see what kind of person he is.
Mm-hmm.
And then it went into like our first actual interaction. And, he welcomed me with open arms, and from there it was like, oh, this is my guy, I remember he would go home and, he would research stuff and he would bring it to us in the morning like, hey, y'all, look, I read up on this. I'm like, here he goes with his crap again. It was always something. But, looking back on those moments, I knew that while he was learning, he wanted us to learn and he wanted us to grow. And, I'm really grateful to have had that experience with him, and it was a short period that I had with him, but it felt like
a lifetime.
Exactly. And those moments were really precious.